Mr. Smitty, while his niece is in town. He walks her puckle named Kitty, oh, bouncy black and brown. I'm shaking. How do you do? And there's Doris and Morris, they got married last June. She does yoga in the morning, he prefers the afternoon. I hear them saying, I love you, baby. Ain't it a wide world? All of us one underneath the sweet sun. It's a wide world. Yeah, yeah. Ain't it a wide world? So many souls to know and so much love to show. It's a wide world. Yeah, yeah. When I close my eyes, all I see is light, light, life, love. All that's good and right. So with eyes wide open, I see the goodness and mercy just follow me. All my days, all my days, all my days. I see the farmers market's got a lot of people today. They're living local and organic, and as they pass my way, I'm shaking. Hey, how y'all doing? Well, there's a lady having trouble with her back, over there, and right away another lady says, sister, have no care. I'll help you, I'll help you, I love you. Yeah. Ain't it a wide world? All of us one underneath the sweet sun. It's a wide world. Yes, yes, yes. Ain't it a wide world? So many souls to know and so much love to show. It's a wide world, wide world. Ain't it a wide world, wide world? If the difference is to be, let it begin with me. Yeah, yeah. It's a wide world, wide world. Ain't it a wide world? All of us one underneath the sweet sun. Wide world, it's a wide, wide world. I've got the moon in the sky and the earth under my feet. The saints and ancestors blowing blessings all over me. I can hear them saying, we love you. We love you. We love you.
Sweet, sweet song. Thank you, Ray.
And so now we're going to move into our time of meditation, our God awareness place. And we're going to move into the gap, that place within where there's no mental chatter. And so join me now as we enter into that silent space.
I am in the darkness. I am in the light. See me if you can. Everywhere I am.
And so we come back into the room, back into that being that you are so blessed to be. I invite you to take this 3 minutes into your life on a daily basis and tell me what happens after you've done it for a while. Thank you.
Come back up, Ray. Yeah.
This is a song of encouragement. It's called Sun Will Rise. If you're perplexed beyond reason, total confusion in your mind, pay heed to simple sign and season. Wonderful the feelings you find. Send yourself messages of courage, courage to conquer the past. Fall back from thoughts that discourage. Make sure they never last. When it seems like life is useless, seems to you that you are too, you will find strength for the struggle, inspiration, motivation from the source in you. The sun will rise, don't you ever doubt. Sun will rise, you can work it out. Sun will rise, bringing a new day. Never to fail for tomorrow, every doing what's done. Set your soul free from the sorrow. Set your sights on the sun. When it seems like life is useless, seems to you that you are too, you will find strength for the struggle, inspiration, motivation from the source in you. The sun will rise, don't you ever doubt. Sun will rise, you can work it out. Sun will rise, warming your fear away. The sun will rise, giving hope again. Sun will rise, giving strength again. Sun will rise, bringing a new day. Oh, you've got to believe that the sun's gonna rise again. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Have faith in yourself. Oh, have faith and believe the sun's gonna rise again. Don't worry about tomorrow. Sun will rise, sun will rise. La 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 la.
Is it Raymond? Is it the full? It's Raymond? Because this needs to be Raymond Davis. That was wonderful. Sun will rise. Yeah, oh man, and just all of it. The wider world and the struggle that was in that song. I just play his songs again. That'll be the talk, and so it is. Because that's it. That's the whole story there. Woo! And the other thing I was catching is there's this musicianship, and then there's the songing. The vocalization and the words. Just lovely. Fences and neighbors. I love that little dog. So what is it? Good fences make good neighbors? Robert Frost, Mending Wall. It's a very interesting poem, that Mending Wall. It's about these guys are walking along and they're fixing their fence. It's between them and they're talking about the rocks that they have to put together to put the fence back together. But if you take it beyond that idea, what if it's just one person walking along and they're looking at the fence? I want to break this down to being that. That's what we're talking about today. It's not that a good fence separating two neighbors and they can get along well because of that. And that's kind of where life is. We have this object-subject situation, so everything is separated. That's the duality of life, right? So in many ways, this poem is about the guardrails of life, the boundaries that we create for ourselves, and the fences that we mend between our own inner self and our outer self that we project out in the world. Because there are guardrails everywhere. The community has its mores, things you should do, not do. Don't shout fire in a theater if it's not on fire, that kind of stuff. Unless you're watching an action movie, you go, fire! That could be kind of confusing. And then there's organizations. Organizations have rules, they have principles, guidelines, things that keep us in order. Cities, states, nations have laws, all things that are trying to control or manipulate or suggest the right kind of behavior. Our family has the family ethos. We don't talk about that sort of thing at the dinner table, young man. That kind of stuff, But I just learned this joke in school. Come on, let me tell it. No, all that kind of stuff. We have those things that keep us in this space. And then eventually, those become the boundaries around us, the fence around us that makes us a good neighbor for the other, but does it make us necessarily a good neighbor for ourselves, for that inner journey that we talk about? On the personal level, the boundaries. We've got here, and then we've got the body, We did an exercise in our recent decisions class where we tried to see, we had our eyes closed, and we're trying to see, could you feel the boundary between the room and your cheek? Or where does your chin end? And we were like, whoa, there's no boundary. Because you can't really feel that sort of thing. But we think we have a body. This is my body, and that's your body, and there's a boundary right there. We set up a physical boundary. We have the mental boundary, our thoughts and our ideas that are happening up here, that some of them we do not want to let them out there. So we create a fence so that we can be a good neighbor. Because if I said some of the stuff I'm thinking in here, then you wouldn't be my friend anymore, maybe. Not you guys, but you know what I'm saying. The royal you, like Nurse Cratchit. How are we feeling? That you. Then we have this other emotional boundary. We have feelings that we have, that we experience, but do we necessarily let them out until the body gives it away and then we blush or break into a sweat because we've held back some emotional things. So we have all these various boundaries. And of course, the big boundary, the material boundary. That's my stuff. Like when you see how Ray got when I went over to touch his keyboard? He was like, dude, every time I come here, you got to touch my keyboard? Yes. I just broke his boundary. See what I'm saying? Y'all are laughing because in our culture, that's like the biggest boundary. Forget the body boundary. Well, the body boundary is a big boundary too. Thank you for that. But the mental boundary, the emotional boundary, all these boundaries we're breaking all the time. But man, don't touch my stuff. We got that one. We got that one covered. But the big one, the big boundary, the self and the self, the wider world. How have we mended that boundary? Are we a good neighbor between our individualized expression of the divine and the divine that is expressing as us? And have we opened ourselves up to really feel that? And, oh my God, to keep up with all these boundaries. Sometimes you wonder, is life testing me? Is this a test and shall I pass? Well, good news. There is no test. We have all passed because the reality of it all is that anytime you're feeling like there's a test, when there's a struggle or a limitation, when something's coming up that feels somewhat restrictive, and you go, gosh, man, this is life. What is life telling me? Life is saying opportunity. Life is saying possibility. Life is saying move beyond because there's something within you that knows, and that's why this feels like a struggle. The thing in itself inside here that knows from the outer self out there is trying to get your attention, and you're thinking it's a test, but really it's something that's saying take up the fight. Take up the fight. Make this move. Make this struggle your own because you will expand your boundaries as you do. There was a young man wanted to be a scientist. I forget what they call it. Ichnologist? No, is that the fish guy? What do they call the people that want to study? Yeah, okay, that's the fish one. But what about if you want to study insects? Entomologist. That's the one. That guy. He wanted to do that. I'm not going to say the word because I'll say an etymology, and that's not the word you just said. Entomologist. So here's this future entomologist that sees this butterfly coming out of the cocoon, and he's seeing it struggle, and his heart goes out to him. So, oh, look at that former caterpillar on his way to butterflyness, struggling. I'll just snip this cocoon a little bit and help him out. And he slips a little more, and I'll let him snip it again, and the butterfly falls out to the ground, flapping its wings around, flips up off the ground a little bit, and the poor thing expired. Transitioned into his greater yet to be. Because, why? He didn't get to struggle. He didn't get to push against the chrysalis, to build the strength in his wings, to stand on the outside of the chrysalis after he's broken free from it, to let the wings dry so that he can then lift off and fly. So when you are in your struggle and you try to take the easy road out, you could possibly end up like the butterfly down there on the ground. See, when we're trying to escape our cocoon by getting deeper into the cocoon or by having somebody else take care of the issue for us, we are missing the opportunity to break through what seems restrictive to get into that place that becomes the demonstration, that becomes the victory, that becomes the next greater thing we get to be. We need to get ourselves free from the prison of some of our boundaries so we can express a higher self. Because there's something in us that already knows. It's like my dear friend Frank Richelieu. I was so grateful I had a chance to meet that man. Powerful spirit. In a book called The Art of Being Yourself. It says, the butterfly. Look at that. Look at that kid. Remember when I hated cats? How many of y'all have been here long enough when I was like, oh, God, cats. I was like, oh, cats. Oh. How did that happen? Transformation. I flew out of my cocoon, and now I love butterflies. The butterfly in the cocoon is only aware of its desire to fly. And it's taken the necessary steps to gain significant strength to do that. The inner self that's connected to the larger outer self only knows of its desire for each of us to fly. Yeah. And the struggles we have in life are giving us the sufficient strength to do that, the necessary steps to move in. So I'm saying today, free your butterfly. Free your butterfly. Go beyond your current boundary. Yes, the boundaries are helpful. They've gotten us where we are today, great. Now, maybe it's time to fly into that infinite great nowhere, to that awesome beyond somewhere. To sail on that infinite sea of possibilities, to go into that place of infinite potentiality, to carry forward from success to greater success. Your life's already been a success up to this point. We're here today. Evidence, you woke up this morning, success. That's it, right? Now, what's the next great success? To fly into that next experience of life. Because see, the life within us, the life that is within us, that's always, get up this morning, bread, that sounds, that thing that draws us away to something, that part of us is unbounded. It doesn't have boundaries. It's not looking for a limitation. It's looking for an expression. And we are that expression. We are that divine expression. It is unrestricted except saved by you. I love when you use save in the except format, right? The life within you is unbounded, saved by you. And interesting, it's accept, but it's also, if you save that old way of being, you're not going to get into the new way of being. See, and here's the rub here, and it's a good rub. Your good, Brad's good, does not impact Bob's good, nor will it destruct or take away from Pam's good. And Cassandra's good is not going to hinder Jack's good. That's just going to happen. Your good's your good. It's good. It's infinite. It's coming from an infinite place. So there's enough good for all of us to experience our own individual experience right there. So make your choice. Make your choice of what is to come next. Make your choice to enter the divine kingdom. See, heaven is a place that we occupy in time and space, here and now, in this moment, as we step into this possibility place I'm talking about. So don't let your boundaries, don't let your fences block you from being a better neighbor to yourself. To yourself, you see. Now, once you make the choice, that's not all. 3 frogs on a log. One decides to jump off the log. How many frogs on the log? That's right. Robert wins. 3 frogs on the log because he just made a decision. That's all he did. Now you got to commit and take the action. Once you make the decision, now you take the commitment, then you take the action. You got to move your feet after you make the treatment. Move your feet. That's what Dr. Holmes says. There's a reason for that. You can sit around all day dreaming. You can dream peace all day long, but unless you step into the embodiment of peace, you will not feel peace. You've got to do it, you see. And Dr. Holmes says that there's a reason why you want to do this. In this thing called you, he says that the divine pattern would be imperfect without you. The divine pattern would be imperfect without you. Dare to be yourself. Dare to be yourself. Double dare yourself to be yourself. Play that game with yourself. I double dare you. Look in the mirror. I double dare you to be more you today. And see if your mirror talks back to you. I don't know what to tell you. I guess you better get out real fast and go to work, because it really means it's important. You've demonstrated some serious stuff right there. I mean, I'm here to tell you. But your pattern is your pattern. It's your pattern. It's an individualized pattern. And as I was writing this talk, and I was thinking about, how do I demonstrate this idea about pattern? I thought about my first love, Stephanie Sigu. They always have 2 names in that time of life. And we were like, I don't know, 13, 14. No, she was an older woman. She was 16. She was 16, I was 14. Yeah, I tell you what. She was the original, what do they call it, cougar. I was so in love with her that when she said, let's buy pink bell bottoms and yellow shirts and wear them together, I was like, okay, honey, let's go ahead and do that. So here we are. We walk into the house, my mother was like, we were just 2 peas in a pod, happy in love, But, thank God I do not. Thank God I do not. And they were those big bell bottoms. It was the 70s. So, the kind of bell bottoms your shoes are disappearing underneath. And then you cut them. You cut them right there and put a wedge of material in there to make them even bigger. You know, yeah, those kind of bell bottoms. And hip hugger bell bottoms, that down here low. I mean, I thank God I'll have a picture of that, because actually, if that got on the internet, it would never come down. Oh my goodness, yeah. But they tell us, the ancients tell us, they tell us, what do they say? Put away childish things. They don't say stop being childlike. They say put away childish things. There comes a time when we have to stop imitating somebody else. Comes a time you got to put away the pink bell bottoms and buy your own jeans, right? That makes sense, though. I mean, we all want to identify. We all want to identify with each other. We want to, but not at the expense of our uniqueness. We don't want to identify with other and be like somebody else at the expense of being special, being the individualized expression that we are, because in that case, we reach a spot where we can't make our own decision. Then we're like a tennis ball, bing, 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 getting beat back and forth by this person said that, and that person said that, and they said this, you should do this, they said you should do this, and next thing you know what to do. You boom, 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 boom. But there's something in us that doesn't know what to do, see? And how do we get there? Take a pause. Take a pause. Examine your boundaries. Where are my boundaries? Maybe you might have to journal about it, but you seek that space of clarity. Use the practices. We teach practices here. Journal about it. Talk to a practitioner about it. Just sit and contemplate it. Figure it out. And then once you do, you embrace what is yours. You embrace your pattern. You trust. Trust. The reliance upon Spirit totally. Trust. The reliance upon Spirit totally. When that creates a space for me, at least, when I trust and I read that acronym back to myself and think about that, the total reliance upon Spirit, like all of it, just rely on it, my heart opens up. When my heart opens up, information floods in, and I can see clearly about what is my individuality and how that should be expressed. Not even my individuality, my individualized part of the divine. I like that more than individuality, because I'm not by myself. I'm a part of a bigger thing that's happening, a little individualized part, a wave on top of the ocean of infinite possibilities. So then, I can do what Dr. Holmes says. He says, you need not ask what others have done or how they've done it. Be yourself and express life as you find it. Never imitate. Powerful words. Basically, he lifted that from Emerson, but powerful words just the same. Never imitate. Imitation is, oh, nobody's read Emerson in here but me? Suicide. Imitation is suicide, what Emerson tells us. Right? What are we killing? We're destroying our inner self, our unique individualized self, when we don't live our full pattern, when we do not let our butterfly fly free. The other great thing about this, understanding what our boundaries are and expanding your individualized boundary, is then we create a space for safety. See? We create some space for safety. So when somebody says to you, do you, boo? Then you go out and do you. You know, you can go out and do you. You can learn to paint your lane, not your lane, don't paint lane. Paint your lane and begin to see what are your guardrails. What are your fences? What are your neighbors? Because without boundaries, there's really no accountability. And when there's no accountability, you could easily feel used or mistreated, because someone broke your boundary, or you didn't even understand that you had it. And then you end up with an unskilled response because you haven't really identified what your boundary is, and then somebody does something, you want to get nasty with them. Like, come on, get behind the bleachers at 3 o'clock, boom, boom, boom. And that's really not the reality of it. The reality of it, you haven't done the work. We have to do the work. We have to disassemble some of this stuff and begin to express our truth. When we don't express our own truth, the expense of that is that we're not as kind. We're not as kind. And that's really a false appearance, because I know at the heart of hearts of all of us, we are kind. We without successive review of where we stand in the world, where our place is in the world, we end up not knowing how to treat others. And we can see that happening a lot. and we don't know how to honor or keep someone else's boundary, and they don't know when it's safe to not cross or to cross our own boundaries. Sometimes it is safe to cross a boundary when you have an understanding, when you're living from a place of compassion. And so people with strong boundaries are people who invite and display compassion because they understand that my space is not threatened by your space. So whatever you have to say, bring your butterfly on over here and let our butterflies flap wings together. It's all right. Come over to my side of the fence and let's dialogue together, you see. Brene Brown talks a lot about this in the book Rising Strong, where she says, compassionate people ask for what they need. They say no when they need to, and when they say yes, they mean it. This is the power of knowing what our boundaries are. Then we can say, not having that. And no energy is floating out there around it because you're so sure and decisive in your no. And when you say yes, the other person feels completely welcome because you are so open and free in your yes. So this journey of fences and neighbors, this walking along that Robert Frost was talking about in that Mending Wall poem, really is about one guy talking about his own journey of what rocks is he gonna take away, what space is he going to create in his fence so he can have a more compassionate experience of life with himself. Wow, can I do that? Now here's the boundary paradox. As you embrace your boundaries, you get to experience boundlessness. As you embrace fully and understand your boundaries expand and they become flexible and fluid. You can move back and forth, you know. You can tap into that infinite potential and spread your wings and soar. I love the idea of soar, to speculate and to apply and to reach for your heights and heights and heights and heights. And when you're good and clear and you know your path, it's easy to live and trust. When you're clear of where you're going and who you are, then it's very easy for us to go back to the total reliance upon Spirit, because in that space, that trust space, you've got it because you're solid in where you are. There's a guy that says, if you don't stand for anything, if you fall for anything, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That one. Stand for yourself. Stand for yourself. Frank Richelieu says that, dare to stand out in your uniqueness. Stand for what you believe in and express the intelligence and the creative spirit that is within you. Dare to stand in your uniqueness. Dare to stand in your space of boundaries and to believe in and express the intelligence and the creative spirit. There's a creative spirit in each and every one of us that is desiring to spread its wings and fly. And that's how you can be a good neighbor to yourself and have a really strong fence in your own life. And so it is. So here we are. Ready? Strong boundaries set me free to live as the individualized expression Spirit intends me to be. Yeah. Nice. Amen. Praise Jesus. Got a little Jamie Lula in the house. Praise Jesus. Yeah, they asked me that last night at the concert. Do you guys believe in Jesus? I said, we sure do. Jesus light. We got the low-cal Jesus. It's easily digestible. Let's do some prayer. In the spirit of Jesus, let's do some prayer. You know, he was the original affirmative prayer person. He always started out with God, you know, and very kind of backward treatments, but we turned it around. We straightened it out. Then he went to the thank you part, and then he made his declaration, and then he just walked away, which was the release part. You know? That's where we get this from. That's really where this comes from. So all you former Jesus haters out there, get back on board. He's a cool guy. It was all the people that wrote the editorials that made it a hard thing. It wasn't him. His words were really good. So here we go. I'm asking you right now to just, whatever the word is for you, I'm not going to say the word, you say the word for yourself. I'm just going to say stuff. But whatever that power, that presence, that energy, that great thing that is so strong that you feel it, but there's no word to fully describe it, that thing right there, feel that. Identify it. And now allow yourself to become one with it. For this is what I know. That one thing that I am a part of is a taproot to a power, an energy, a source of creativity that becomes the experience of life I am having. Each idea, each decision, each thought is heard by this divine presence and is activated upon by its self-givingness to grab from its infinite substance to be outpictured in time and space as my experience, showing up as harmony, as peace, as love, as kindness, and as tangible things, as stuff, pianos, whatever it is that you're looking for. But the importance is the feeling tone. And right now I am feeling the love, I'm feeling the peace, I'm feeling the harmony, I'm feeling the right action, I'm feeling the good that is unfolding from knowing that there is a presence, a power. The Father and I, the Mother and I, the sister and I, the brother and I, the thing and I are one. And in that space, I have a power to use that energy to create an experience, to be the outflowing picture of this divine love in time and space. And I know that as I do this in that unified expression, it rolls out in a good form. I am the good. Say that with me out loud. I am the good. And it is from this place that I am so extremely grateful, and I release this prayer into a perfect law, knowing that it is done as I speak. I am the good, and so it is. Okay. Oh, see? Identify, do the prayer, say thank you to the spiritual community by supporting in these various ways. Call the office, text the word give. Really grateful to see that more and more people are using the Breeze format, which is great, and the cslcme.org for donating. Also, maybe you didn't notice this, but start to notice, okay, we track everyone's giving that gives by credit card or check or anything like that. If you're a person who likes to give by cash, we're very happy to track your cash so that we can give you a statement at the end of the year. So we put envelopes out somewhere. Ask Danny or Darlene. They know that kind of stuff. Or one of the ushers. And you can put your cash in an envelope and drop it in. Or some people just want to not know how much they're dropping in because you just want to do it anonymously. Just put your cash in an envelope. It's out there for that purpose, okay? Let's do our affirmation of giving right now. Notice it has changed, so be ready for that at the bottom. Here we go. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for the world, Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, and me now. Divine love prevails. Your announcements for the week. Take care. Come enjoy. All kinds of great stuff to do.
So I give thanks for this abundant, lavish overflow that is not only here represented in this basket, but is represented digitally in the accounts, in all the ways financial flow appears. For I know that God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. And right here and right now, all that is needed, when it is needed, wherever it is needed, for as long as it's needed, is at hand. So I know right here and right now that this center is blessed and prospered by each and every one in the community and by sources known and unknown. And it's with a grateful heart that I give thanks for these blessings pouring forth, pressed down, multiplied. I say, blessed be, and bring it on. Right here, right now, we are open and receptive to this high and great flow. And it's with a grateful heart that I give thanks for this and so much more being sent through Breeze and through all the other methods that we use to contribute financially to this phenomenal experience. I let this word go to the creative field, knowing it says yes, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Marianne. Okay, we've got one last one from Mr. Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
All right now, all right. I got to push that button right there. All right. Yeah. So let me drop a lyric on you. You have got the power to deny every bald-faced lie sneaking up on you. You've got the right to decide that the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will do, for you can free your mind. Speak your word, light it up, and watch it burn. Mm-hmm. You can. You can. You can.
Yeah, you can.
You click? What it's gonna be, yeah. Got a man in your living room, he's talking about what it is and what it's gonna be, babe. You know you can believe him, 'cause he's wearing a suit and tie on TV. There's a woman in your bathroom, she's got something to help you feel better.
Help you feel better.
Right there in your bathroom, she wrote a description that will help you feel better.
Help you feel better.
You know you can trust her, 'cause her name is followed by so many letters. So many letters. Every bald-faced lie sneaking up on you. Have got the right to decide that the truth will truth and nothing but the truth to do for you. And free your mind. Speak your word, light it up and watch it burn. You can, you can, you can. There's a man on your laptop offering you the keys to success. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. That man on your laptop, he says he's got the very keys to your success, y'all. Chain, 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 chain. And for just $19.99 a month, he'll throw in the dough and all the rest. Already day by day, you have got the power to deny that both is not taking up with you. Have got the right to decide that the truth will truth and nothing but the truth will do for you. And free your mind. Speak your word, light it up and watch it burn. You can, you can, you can. Yes, you can. The Have you heard the word about love? Now you know you should just hang up. But it's just who you say. You have got the power to deny every bald-faced lie sneaking up on you. You have got the right to decide that the truth, and the truth, and the truth, for you can free your mind. Speak your way, light it up, and watch it burn. You can. Yes, you can. The power is in your hand, right in your very hand. I know that you understand. Come on.
Keys, baby.
Hey, David.
You can. Burn it up. Light it up, walk away, baby. Light it up and walk away. Oh, man. Can y'all, what? That is sweet.
Too much fun.
That was
That's
sweet.
our abundance blessing.
That's our new abundance blessing. Yeah, we're doing that. Divine abundance prospers, harmonizes, and adjusts. All right, I love it. Oh, man. Pat and Greg, thank you so much for your service today. And Mona and Becca, welcome to the service team, Becca. So good to have you. Deborah, I saw you around here. There she is. There's Deborah. Okay. Thank you for your work today. Colin, you rocked it, baby. You got it going. Good for you. I love it. It's great to see you up there in the booth. John, lovely on the slides today, as always. Marianne, love your prayers. And what can we say about the band? I mean, our Soul Purpose band. You know, Steve Fowler, Bob Townley, Randy Jones, Sherry Deeds, Lane Taylor, and Cheryl Collins. Madam President, yes, indeed. I guess you're a different hat.
Can we do a thank you for the potluck?
Yes. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, real quick.
Throw it in there.
Thank you to everybody who came out for the potluck. We had so much fun, for the people who came and helped set up, for the people who enjoyed the time and brought food and then helped clean up after. You were all amazing. And if anybody is interested in having a potluck again, like to host one, believe me, it's the easiest party you're ever going to have. People are amazing. The food was amazing.
The food was
Off the
amazing.
hook.
Yes. It will be amazing again later this afternoon. I got some leftovers.
He took a good.
Yeah, I love leftovers. That's great. Marianne, what have you got?
I've got, first of all, we have a prayer box in the back where you can write out any prayer treatment you want done for you, and it will go to our Ministry of Prayer. Also, I am praying with you. I'll be in the back of the room here, but I'm available for prayer treatment after this, should you choose to have something in your heart that you would like to release and transform. I can be of service. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say the...
You can, but I got it. I'm ready.
All right.
It's this. All right, so that's actually, I don't know, change for change is what it's called. Spare change. Bring it. We got a big jug in the lobby. Let's fill this puppy up, and we're going to use the money for something. I'm not sure. The board knows. What are we supposed to use this money for? I forget now. That's a darn good idea.
Right, yeah.
That's a pretty good idea right there. Yeah. Why did I think of that? Hey, you want to be on the board? So do participate in that. This is like, I don't know, a couple weeks. It doesn't take much time for change, because who spends change anymore? You just get it back and put it back in your pocket, and at the end of the night, you got all this stuff in your pocket. You put it on the table, and then it just starts to pile up. Let it pile up right here. Thank you for that. Okay, let's all stand, do our closing benediction, and sing out our last song. All right, ready? I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
unfold you,
Spirit lift you.
breathe it in. Truth come through you, make it flow to you. Let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, to see the light and take a stand. We are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your path and set it free and share this blessing. Oh, love be with you. Peace unfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. Make it flow to you. Let joy renew you. Till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, 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 love be with you. Yeah.
Great stuff this week. Come on out.
I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you, and if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Every day's a new day in love with you. With each day comes a new way of love.